Hey, hey, hey. Everybody watching the replay, hey. Let me get my life together. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Whew. Y'all, I've been busy with second grade all week. I was like, let me come on live. Let me chit chat with my girls. Hey, baby. Hey. How are you guys doing? Hi. I love you more. Hey. I was telling everybody for the replay that's rewatching this that did not make my live. I am sorry, I cannot commit. so, yeah, I've been busy with second grade. I was like, let me come on here and talk to my girls. Let me make me a drink. It's been a long week. Hi. Hi. Evil kitty babe. Hey. Oh my gosh. How are you? Hi. So I kind of wanted to address some things. I want to answer some questions. I want to check on you girls. I want to know what is going on. So happy Friday. Yes, ma'am. Hi. She said you're my best friend, big sister in my head. In real life, baby. In real life. That's why a lot of you girls don't understand. Like, or maybe you kind of do, but you just didn't correlate it. So many women out there are kind of loners because we get to a point where we don't have to prove ourselves to anybody. We're not trying to fit in. That's why I couldn't be in a sorority. I'm like, girl, I'm not gonna kiss your butt. I'm not gonna pretend to be somebody I'm not. You know what I mean? I am who I am, and that's who I am. So that's why I love that I decided to do these like events, because not only am I able to, meet you in real life one-on-one, but we're able to have girl trips. And sometimes you want to take a trip but you really don't have girlfriends like that, and so I'm totally obsessed. So now that I've experienced it once, I'm like addicted. I have to meet you guys, every single one. And I want to keep on going. But Monique, baby, hi. Exactly. See, me too. I'm like too cool sitting at the bar by myself. Like, I'm okay putting my phone on plane mode. Do not disturb, don't bother me, don't talk to me. I'm kind of funny acting. So, yeah. But I wanted to tell y'all, get a drink, get a margarita, enjoy, relax. But she said, my dad always told us, be a loner. I thought he was weird, but I was too easy for me to fall in love with my solitude. I love to create. I love that. I love that. I wish I had a dad to sit here and encourage me. But I love that. I love it. So let's talk about getting the ring, in my opinion. Now, first and foremost, I've never said that, hey, everybody knows I'm not married. But a lot of you girls have one, in my opinion, and that's the point of my channel, my opinion. And with that being said, I always state I'm not going to speak on something that I'm not familiar with. I'm not going to speak on something that I don't have experience with. I'm not going to speak on something that I have no idea about. So if I decide to go ahead, hence why I haven't did a makeup tutorial yet, or hence why I can't really, you know what I mean, talk to guys that want to be a sugar baby or whatever, because I'm not a man. I'm not a guy. And like, so I'm not going to put myself out there to, give you false advice or set you up for failure, because I'm just, putting you out in the dark to fend for yourself. You know what I mean? With a false sense of hope. And so with that being said, I had so many women like, oh, Fancy, I feel as though because you're telling these girls to rush or to be in a desperate mindset, my man married me after 3 years and all this. Sweetheart, why are you on my channel? If these women were going to take advice from you because you're an expert as to getting the ring, it seems as though your marriage might be kind of, especially with you being on my channel. So with that being said, you may be the last person these girls want to ask about. Now me, I've been proposed to multiple times, and I feel as though I don't have to take a proposal. You're not the first person to propose to me, and you're definitely not going to be the last. So if you don't meet all my check boxes, then I'm not going to marry you. I'm not in dire need just to sit here and get hitched, because I know my worth, because I know my value. In addition to that, a lot of you women who don't have children, that is a bonus. When you are a mom, our babies come first. I'll be darned trying to sit here and marry into billions and my kid is being neglected. He's not being taken care of. He is a black man. And with that being said, it's my responsibility to make sure that all the men role models in his life is to the T. And I'll be darned to sit here and try to marry somebody just for my, needs. And I'm sitting here and, having a bad example for my child. And then number two, another reason, in case you want to understand why, if you've been proposed so many times, then why are you not married? Because religion is important to me. My beliefs, you know what I mean? And again, my child, the man of my house, the head of my household has to be a man of God. And if you're not, then I cannot, join with you on a spiritual level. I just can't do it. I'm not going to hell for anybody. Of course, as a Christian, I don't judge. You can believe whatever you believe, and that's okay. I'm not going to push my beliefs on you. But when it comes to me and my household, we will serve the Lord. And that's on everything. So let's just make that clear. But bypassing all of that, because I didn't feel as though I would need to explain why I feel as though I have the right to speak on marriage or obtaining the ring, when this is my channel and I never say, well, hey, this is the only way to do something. This is the only way to obtain this goal. This is the only way to my way or the highway. There's no reason why you're not, following me to the T, and that's why you're not making money. This is just my life. This is just from my experience. This is just, what I've encountered. These are just, the trials and tribulations I've went through, the mistakes that I've made. And if it can help you, then I want to do everything in my power to prevent you from the extra heartache. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, a lot of the tips that I gave in that video, I wasn't like, oh, let me sit down, and literally I was running errands and y'all were on my heart. And I'm like, these girls are trying to get married. Let me go ahead and, because I've had a lot of coaching calls when girls are in relationships. And as you can see, just like in the community tab, I posted about that woman who was with that guy for 7 8 years. I never want to get married, that's not my type of thing, gave him a baby and stuff like that. Not saying that their relationship is the picture of everybody's relationship, but that's the rule. It does not take a man more than 2 years to decide to marry you. And if he says, oh, it's money, it's income, it's whatever the case is, you can go to the courthouse. If a man wants to marry you, he wants to marry you. And I don't want you to be like, or listening to these quote unquote married women saying, listen, I was married to my husband for 8 years and this, that, and the other. But in reality, are you willing to sit here and risk 8 years of your life? Then it doesn't work out for you. And then another 8 years of your life, that's 16 years. Sweetheart, what we're not going to do is we're not going to waste time and then pretend as though, you know what I mean, is she just has the holy grail and she knows, exactly how to sit here and obtain a marriage. Also, I don't feel as though just because a woman's not married, she doesn't have, any tips or anything, worth contributing on that topic, because there are a lot of women who are married and they definitely don't need to be speaking on the topic. So I'm just going to put that right there. So, exactly. Evil Kitty said, just because you are married, it doesn't automatically make you an expert. Maybe an expert in the dusty lives. 50-50. Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm trying to sit here and say. And so I kind of wanted to touch on that. I have a lot of you girls in relationships with dusties, and a lot of girls that are like, Fancy, I hear what you're saying. You're speaking to me. I really needed to hear this. And that's what I'm trying to be, that big sister. I'm trying to be, that example. Because if I knew you in real life, if you were my blood, I would sit here and say, sweetheart, you're wasting your time. Men will sit here and they will sit here and allow you to think that you're progressing to something that you're not. And they're saying, oh, what is marriage? What is having a marriage certificate? What is this? It doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, then marry me. And I feel as though to position yourself to get married, you have to not only be entertaining a man that wants to get married, but you have to make your intentions clear, not in the beginning of the dating, but after 6 months of, of that honeymoon, getting to know each other stage. 6 months of being exclusive, 6 months of only talking to that guy, exclusively, even though you girls should have a roster. But I'm just saying, for those who don't want to engage into having a roster, your business, your life, that's you. Okay, but after talking to a guy for 6 months and it's quote unquote serious, there's no reason why you're not making it known that you want in the long run marriage. I'm not saying drag that man. I'm not saying trying to force him into the situation. I'm saying have an adult conversation. The same thing you need to do if you plan on being physical with them. How can you be okay having intimacy with somebody and you're not okay talking about STDs? You're not okay talking about viruses. You're not okay talking about your health records. You're not okay talking about birth control and proper things that need to be discussed, but you're okay throwing it back. Like, you can't sit here and expose yourself to setbacks. You're setting yourself up for failure. And so she said, and scared to go to the doctor. Absolutely, what you scared for? It is what it is. It is what it is. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to be like not sensitive, but at the end of the day, the worst case scenario is that you're going throughout your life and not knowing that there's something that you need to do for yourself and your health is in danger. You might need to, like, there's some STDs that are curable, that if you don't sit here and get cured from it, you can't have kids, you can't reproduce. It messes up your reproductive organs as women. You know what I mean? The reason why, as soon as we become sexually active, we should be going to the gyno. You know what I mean? And there's reasons why guys don't really sit here, and it's not required or recommended or whatever the case. It's not required or it's not common for them to go to the doctor until they're in their 40s, because their risk is once they get up there in their 40s. Our risk is as soon as we become intimate with somebody. We can sit here and get exposed to an STD that, can lead to cancer. We can sit here and get exposed, to so many things, and you know what I mean? It's life altering. So when it comes to these dusties, you know what I mean, and allowing them to take your youth and wear you down and use you, you have to sit here and, stand up for yourself and be like, you know what? I've been in this relationship for 2 years. I've mentioned it. He knows that I want to get married. He's still in a position stating that he's not ready, but we've done everything, whether it's moving in, whether it's becoming intimate. Guys will sit here and sleep with you on the first night, and being in intercourse is very serious. It's very serious. It's a big step. It's a big leap. They're willing to take a big risk because it benefits and it pleasures them. But when it comes to a risk like, something that's not risky, something that's, supplying security, they're like, oh no, a piece of paper is not going to show me. It's not going to prove my love to you. And y'all girls are just like, oh, okay, Fancy, it's not him, it's me. I'm the one who doesn't want to get married. No, you're delusional. You're making that excuse up because you're trying to protect yourself from the reality of this man not wanting to marry you. And that's just what it is. So in my opinion, a man who finds a wife, you cannot force a man to get married. And this is facts. This is factual. You don't need to be married to understand that. Number two, a man has to want that, and he has to see his wife. If you're dating him and you're just sleeping around and you're okay with him not even putting a title on y'all being in a relationship, if y'all have been together for a year and y'all are talking and you're not even his girlfriend, what? And you're thinking that this is your husband, but he won't even give you the title of his girlfriend. You're wasting your time. If you've mentioned at 6 months that by 2 years, say you're 37, let's just say you're 37. If you mention at 37 that by 39, by 40, you want to get married, you know what I mean? And you're just throwing that number out and you're just talking to him like you should be able to speak to your partner, you know what I mean? And you need to listen to his response. And if he's not trying to sit here and, elaborate or tell you where he stands or how he feels about you, and y'all have been together 1.5 to 2 years, you're wasting your time. And the only reason you still need to be with this man is if this man has bank. Like when I say bank, and that means that you're not living together. Like I said in the video, y'all live in 2 separate households and he's contributing to your life financially, not contributing because he lives with you and he's benefiting off of it. He's contributing because he cares about you enough to provide some kind of security for you since he's not trying to go that next level. That's the only reason you should still be with this man. And if that's not the case, you need to sit here and dump him before you're the one looking crazy and he dumps you and you're looking like, well, fancy. Now I have to heal myself. Fancy. Now I want to take 3 years to myself where I can sit here and go to counseling, which you should be doing. You should heal yourself, and I can sit here and focus on my career, and I can sit here and waste my time and put myself in a worse situation. 3 years from now, I could have found my husband, but because I was so hurt and stuck on that man who didn't want me, but I knew he didn't want me, and I was hoping that I was wrong, and I was hoping that my married friend was right, telling me that she was with him for 6-7 years and she got the ring, but who knows what's really going on behind closed doors. You understand? That might not be the marriage that you're trying to honestly obtain, but that's what you see from the outside. Then honestly, maybe you should, explore and listen to a thing or two that I have to say. But again, let me get off my soapbox. She said a woman also releases hormones and becomes attached to a man when she sleeps with him. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why they call us crazy. 100%. But they don't care how serious and how intimate and how important, our bodies are to us. They just see it as something like, and I explain this in my coaching calls, it's like an itch. It's like imagine being handcuffed. Imagine being handcuffed and your nose itching very, very, very bad and you cannot scratch it. It's gonna drive you nuts. It's gonna drive you crazy. But as soon as you're able to scratch it, you will scratch it. But 2 days from now, you're not gonna be like, dang, 2 days ago, I really had an itch on my nose. It's the same with sex. They really, really, really have to have it. But 2 days from now, they're not going to be like, oh, she just really put it on me. They don't care. they don't care. Unless this man truly loves you and you're sleeping with someone and you're trying to get him to love you or like you or to want you, that is not the way to go about it. The only way to go about it is to hold out. And to see how long he stays around and to see how much he does like you and see how much he's willing to sacrifice for you, meaning his desires, meaning his schedule. Oh, Fancy, what are some other calls I've had? Fancy, this guy seems really busy. Our schedules don't align and he finally made time for us to have a coffee date. You shouldn't be going on coffee dates. What? He can't provide dinner for you. I've had girls say, well, Fancy, he wanted to take me out for drinks. So he wants to get you drunk and he doesn't want to feed you. Oh no, he told me to eat before the date. Excuse me? And I'm looking at you as a potential and you can't even take on the task of feeding me? Sir. And I'm not saying this to put you down. I'm not saying this. I'm letting you know that you're not alone. I'm letting you know that we all have been there. Oh, well, maybe he just wants to see if he likes me. I need to see if you can afford me. What? Stop, sir. Yes, eat before you come. And you're paying money to have a coaching call with me over a man who won't even take you out to, he's not even an option. What? So I feel as though because of I don't have any sisters. I'm the oldest. I have a little brother and my family's really, really small. And so I've never just had like support or just this village or any of that. I've always, been a loner. And so that's why I feel as though, this next chapter on these, events and these workshops and us doing meet and greets and stuff like that, I want you girls to come out. I want you girls to meet, sisters. I want you to be able to look back and if the only thing you got from Fancy because you really didn't like me, and that's okay. Like I said in my video, I'm not for everyone. I'm just not, and that is totally fine. And so with that being said, if you were able to meet someone, if you were able to, learn something, then I'm totally for it. Just like I get a lot of people that Fancy somebody else on another channel is copying off you, whatever. You know what? That is really flattering. Like and I don't even care enough to know. You don't even have to tell me a name. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Because it just doesn't matter to me. What others think, men, women alike, I just don't care. I just don't. Unless you want to pay for me to get it done, unless you want to sit here and take me, unless you want to sit here and, contribute financially in some way other just talking noise, then it just doesn't matter. If I like it, then that's all that matters. So Yeah, but I think, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So this guy, the schedules didn't align up or whatever. I think I had her coaching call yesterday. Her schedules didn't align up, and he made time for like a, it wasn't coffee. I think it was it happy hour? I don't know. Or maybe it was just, I don't know. It was just like a meetup. Like, I don't know. I don't even think he offered coffee, honestly. But cuz once I hear BS, everything just goes out the window. I'm just like, stop. Hold on. Hold on. I'm blanked out right now. I'm just shook. And so I don't even know what he offered her, but he ended up canceling. And now she's like, fancy, like, what should I do? Like, I like him, and I don't want to mess this up, and I just don't want to lose out. Like, should I be understanding? Should I be patient? I don't want to nag, or should I get upset, or should I be bratty and spoiled? He didn't value you enough or respect you enough to not only one offer to take you somewhere high end and expensive, but he didn't care enough about you to clear his schedule so he can sit here and take you out. And he canceled. You have to show these men that they're replaceable, they're disposable, and they have to care. And I know y'all's grandmother said this, a man has to like you more than you like him. I don't, what do you like about him? Has he spent some money? Like, has he showed you that he values you enough? Like, what is there to like about him? Like, I don't know. But that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Dusty. And y'all don't understand. Just because a man says that he makes money, blase. What's another excuse they say? Oh, they're on a sugar daddy website. And I've got a lot of which y'all don't understand is I'm not gonna sit here and just lead y'all. I'm not gonna advertise something that I don't stand by. I'm not going to this one sugar daddy website, they wanted to partner with me for me to tell y'all to sign up for their membership, whatever the case is, and they're gonna pay me for it. I'm not gonna do that. I feel as though as women we shouldn't have to pay to be on these sites. I feel as though, why am I gonna sit here and say, oh, if you go on this website you're gonna get dates? Girl, if you go out for free in public in real life, you're gonna get some dates. If you sit here and position yourself to make sure you have time, set time, and I said this within our group, I feel as though, oh, he scared me. Y'all, I'm so scary. Come here, baby.
Where do I put this?
Put that in the sink. Put that in the trash. And are you still in your WebEx?
Yeah.
What is she talking about?
I was reading a book.
Okay. Did you need something else?
No.
Okay. If you need me to help you with your class, then let me know.
Okay.
Okay. You gonna come and say hi to the ladies? Wait, don't put that on my bed though. Can you go put that in the kitchen, sir? He's such a flirt. I knew he wasn't gonna come over here without saying hi. You gonna come and say hi? Hey, hey, hey. My little homie. Hey. Okay, go finish your class, babe. Can you close there? Hey. Whoa. Okay, close my closet. And if your room gets too chilly, please turn that fan off because the weather's changing and I don't want your allergies and stuff acting up. You handsome? Don't be, you wasn't trying to dance on camera. Don't, Y'all, he is so funny. I can never have any more kids. I was telling him earlier, I was like, Princeton, I can't have any more kids. He was like, why? I said, because you're perfect. When you get it right the first time, you don't have to try again. Like, he is just everything. Like, absolutely everything. I will turn down rings for him. Multiple. So, yeah. Y'all, I've been when I tell you, if you're a teacher, I'm sorry. I don't mean to sit here and, you know, belittle what y'all are doing. But us stay-at-home moms that's doing this WebEx, this online virtual learning, I feel as though we should be getting paid. We should be getting some kind of check from the government, whatever. Not saying that y'all shouldn't get paid or whatever the case is, but I feel as though he didn't have this much homework when he was like in school physically. And I feel as though we the teachers now. Okay, I need some compensation. But I don't know. I'm just not gonna I'm not gonna send him back to school. I feel as though um he's a black man in training, okay, and he needs to be social. He needs to be able to handle himself in the real world. So I can't homeschool him like totally. Like if I had a little girl or whatever the case is, then oh yeah, fine, sure, this is the time that I would be trying to, you know, instill values and just different things like that into her. But with him being a boy, he needs to be able to handle the real world, you know what I mean? And so he needs to go back to school in person, but I'm not going to send him until at least next year. Like I think like January around our birthdays. Like I think next semester he'll be back in school in person if everything continues to go okay. But if not, then he about to be here with me. He about to be all up in my business, all up in my face. Y'all, okay. Y'all might judge me, but that's okay. So he's nosy. And the teacher asked him the other day, everybody in class, what does your parents do for a living? Y'all know what he said? He said, my mommy be talking to the ladies on a computer about high value. I said, ooh, at least he didn't say my mama be teaching about sugar daddies. I would have been shook. I would have been these kids, they so nosy. Mind you some business. Get out of here. Stop. Or like one time I was paying rent. I was paying the rent or whatnot, and he was going online or something, and he read, like he's a reader, like that boy, he can read, like he's like on 4th, 5th grade level. He is a good reader, and that's why even when I try to spell something inappropriate or bad or whatever, mama God don't like that. And I'm like, I want to say stay in a child's place, but you're right. But he was reading and he saw the rent and he was like, oh mom, well I saw this one thing and you got a whole bunch of money, so you know. I said, excuse me? These kids, I cannot have any more. I can't. I cannot do it. But I wanted to answer some of your questions because it's Friday. I want you girls to go out. I want you to, you know, have some fun. Just because you're freestyling, just because you're engaging into conversation, just because you're vetting these guys, it's draining, but you have to make it fun. You have to take time for yourself. Yes, I don't feel as though you should overwhelm yourself with, you know, oh, I'm not doing anything else right now, so let me get back on. You will wear yourself out like that. I was telling the girls within our group, have a planner. I have planners all around the house. I even my son is, I feel like he likes planners because of me. I like to write things out. If I'm going to sit here and work out, which I don't, but if I am, it's going to be in there. If I need rest, if I need to take a nap, it's going to be in there. If I need to sit here and get my nails done, if I need to do anything, I like to write it down versus putting it in my phone. Yes, I might put an alarm in case it's a very hectic day, but if I write it down and put it in my phone, I feel as though the motion of writing it down kind of, you know, helps me, you know, make sure everything is in place. And so if I have a busy week, if I'm going out of town, if anything is going on, which is going to be my next video, I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm thinking about going to New York. My ticket and stuff is already booked, but y'all, I be everywhere. And I really talk fast in real life only if I like you. If I don't like you, I'm very quiet. I don't have anything, I don't have nothing to say. But y'all are my peoples, okay? But even when I go out of town, I need to plan it out like a business trip. And I want to make a video on this, how to freestyle in a city that you're not familiar with. I had a few girls that, you know, are traveling to freestyle because maybe they're in, you know, Arkansas, or maybe they're in Oklahoma, or maybe they're in a place where there's not that many high value men, or maybe I just talked to a lady the other day and she's in Tyler, she's in East Texas. That's like 2.5 hours, because my grandma, she's in Longview. That's like 2 hours, depending on if you speed or not, away from Dallas. And she said she's gonna come here. Like, what can she do since she has, not that many, quality men within her town and her city or whatever. And I said, well, designate, a weekend or 2 weekends a month to come to Dallas. And I feel as though I'm going to do a video on some very high-end neighborhoods to live in, um, cities to live in, and places to go to when you come to Dallas if you're thinking about relocating, because a lot of girls have been considering moving out here, or a lot of girls have been considering coming out here to freestyle or, mix and mingle, make some money. In addition to that, if you're thinking about traveling to other places, I kind of want to show you how I do it. I'm not familiar with New York, and here everything is open, y'all. Like, I literally was, since I live downtown, I was on Snapchat, because I really don't know how to work it like that. I just know how to look at my friends' snaps and snap. I'm just really not good at it. But I was kind of looking at the snaps around me, which I don't know how I did that. But I saw people partying and stuff, no mask, wall to wall, like all within, Dallas and stuff. And so that's why I was asking y'all, like, what's open in New York? And everybody's like, nothing. I'm like, am I gonna waste my time going out there? Like, I know a guy out there, and he, like, I know a guy personally, like, personally out there, and he makes pretty good money, but I haven't talked to him. Like, I like to tell them last minute, especially if you're not flying me out there, if I'm coming by choice. I kind of like to, if I just happen not to have anything else to do, then I'll sit here and hit you up. Hey, babe, I'm in town. But I'm going to get more into detail on that. But I do like to plan my schedules before I go. I like to do research on, what's open, what's closed, especially during this pandemic. And I like to, on this day, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. On this day, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. That cuts the amount of time that I'm in a hotel room. That cuts the amount of time that I'm not doing anything. That cuts the amount of time that I'm wasting time looking for things to do while I'm there, when that should have been taken care of before I left. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, you're very productive. The amount of time I'm going to shop, the amount of time I'm going to go to this place. So I'm going to break that down, especially if I go to New York next week. But right now, it's looking like everything's closed. So, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I wanted to come out there. But planner. Get a planner. Notate everything. Uh-huh. She said, I'm from New York City. Nothing is open. Like, yeah, a lot of people have said the only thing that's open are restaurants. And in Miami, there were curfews. I think the curfew was like 10 or 11. Well, yeah, I think the curfew was 10 or 11. So we could do stuff, within that time. But, yeah. Did y'all have any questions? She said, is LA open, anybody? She said DC is open. She said, is a luxury apartment affordable in Texas? What's affordable to you? It just depends. Like, if you're in the Las Colinas area, which is very nice. It's close to DFW Airport, which we have two airports. They're 30 minutes apart. We have Love Field, that's closer to downtown SMU and stuff like that. And then we have DFW, which is between Dallas and Fort Worth. That's why it's Dallas Fort Worth. And Irving, Las Colinas, Valley Ranch, I think you can get a pretty nice luxury apartment for like maybe $2,000. Maybe cheaper, maybe between, like, I'm trying to think, because when I first got my townhouse in Colleyville, I was paying like $2,300 for a townhouse, and it was a really, really nice townhouse. It was really 2 bedrooms, but it was kind of like a 2-bedroom den. So and I think the luxury apartments were like 1,700, 1,800 or something like that. Now downtown, a 1-bedroom, I have a son, so I always had to have a 2-bedroom. I'm not really sure. A 1-bedroom might be like 2,000, $2,200, $2,300. And if you get into the 2 bedrooms, it's at least like, if you find a good place, it's like 27, 28, and that's on the cheap side. That's like a small 2 bedroom, but it's gonna be close, more likely than 3,000. So it just really depends. But you can find a decent non-luxury apartment for a good price, I think. Like, I'm trying to think of someone who I know that has a non-luxury apartment. A lot of people that live in Dallas, they go ahead and get a house. They can, get a really nice house for like $1,000, 1,200, I guess. Well, not really nice, but normal, regular, like livable, like, I don't know. So I think most people that aren't living in a luxury apartment they go ahead and get like a house for like 12, 1,300, and a regular apartment in Dallas would be like maybe 1,000. I don't know. But I'm going to do research. So when I do the video, I'm going to tell you the cities to live in. I'm going to tell you the cities to go to. And I'm going to tell you like kind of what I do when I come to a city that I'm not familiar with, and what you can do if you ever come to Dallas, or if I don't cover. Of course, I'm not going to cover every place. But if I miss like a, pretty legit place out here. Because I want you girls to be productive. I want you to really, again, being a mom, running a business, working full time, just doing so many things, it gets overwhelming to the point where you're like, I don't have time, to deal with this BS. And when I do have time to date, then, it's jerks. It's gross guys. It's ridiculous. And you really need to, schedule in time for your mental health, for self-care, you know what I mean? And, designating maybe once a week, I'll make this day available to go on dates. And if a guy is not going to sacrifice his schedule to accommodate, baby, I'm sorry. I'm not available. Just like if you want to go to Mac or Sephora and you can't go during business hours, they're not going to stay open for you. Either you're going to make it a priority to get there during their hours, or you're just not going to go. And that's just what it is. So if he wants to see you, he needs to accommodate your schedule. I do not want to go. Like if a guy says, oh, well, I'm available on Thursdays and Saturdays, I will purposely say, oh, baby, I'm only available on Monday. I don't know how that's going to work out. And that shows me that if he wants to go out with me enough, he's going to make sure that he sacrifices something that's important to him, rearranges his schedule for me. Same thing when it comes to giving out a people's number. If you watched, my video, y'all saw that I went to Walmart. That's the issue. I don't go to Walmart a lot because I'm not a Walmart girl and I'm not a Target girl. I don't like either. I don't like, number one, in Texas, Walmart's like the club. Ninjas here, ninjas there. Don't look at me. Don't touch me. Like, don't holler hootie hoo. No. And if I'm with my son, I am crazy. I'll tear you up into pieces. Don't disrespect me. I'm with a young man, and that's unacceptable. I wouldn't want my son approaching a woman, her child. Like, stop. No. So, this guy, and this was just an example, this guy, he was Latino, and typically Latin men, from my opinion, not saying all and not saying that this is just the case, but in my opinion, they seem to be respectful. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just like anybody. Not in the club. The Hispanic men in the club, they nasty. They be trying to put fingers. Sir, no. And it's so funny because one of my managers just texted me before this video, and he was like, Fancy, please come in and have a group of guys. You know good and well you ain't seen me all year, all pandemic. I'm like, I don't know how to, my mask don't fit, my head's too big. I can't come in. I feel like a tickle in my throat. Like, what am I gonna come in for? Come in for what? Y'all been wanting a stripper vlog? Y'all better go down the road, down the YouTube streets, and go find all them stripper content. I'm not gonna be out there risking my life. Are y'all gonna come and take care of my baby? He is very expensive. He costs a lot of money. That's another reason why I can't have another kid, because I'm not gonna, listen, if I did not have a kid, I would be a baller. I would be balling out of control. Like, listen here. So, ladies, listen. I don't know that girl off of Marion Milton's John T. Like, well, she can afford a kid. But I'm just saying, if she couldn't afford it, it ain't that serious. listen here, this world is terrible. It's disgusting. I wouldn't want to raise another kid in this. I would not. It ain't worth it. Don't do it. No. But so he's Latino. I don't know. He doesn't seem like, I like to say Hispanic or Latino if I don't know exactly what he is. He didn't seem, I don't know, cuz I don't know. But whatever. So I'm literally walking down the aisle and he's straight up like, damn. I'm like I kind of jumped. I said, I know this man did. So I just pretend like I don't see him. And that's what I do. If I go into a gas station or whatever, I will be that girl who's, I can't hear nothing. Do you know sign language? I'm like, do not talk to me. And I feel as though if you're not like looking, if there's like a burglary or something like that, my eyes are always to the ground. Sir, you don't got to kill me. I didn't see you. I don't know what you look like. I will not be testifying. Go about your business. I was looking down the whole time. Like, I don't be playing. I mind my business. I don't have no comments. That's why kids be getting you in trouble. I swear. Like, okay, I keep on getting off subject, but my son's everything. Kids are so honest. They're so honest, and sometimes it's terrible because, like, I was going to the beauty supply with my son, and normally, like, I won't take him to the beauty supply, but he was with me, and he was like, and he talks loud. I talk loud. He was like, Mom, that lady has a big, and I'm like, shh, because whatever he's going to say following this, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be polite. But then, you know, if you a kid, they have to say it. Mom, but I have to tell you something. I'm like, please, Princeton, shh. We're in the store. And it wasn't like he was trying to be rude, and he's not a loud kid, and he's not a wild kid. But he was like, Mom, this lady has a big, and I'm like, can you whisper? Because it feels as though you just really had to tell me about somebody else's business. You know what I mean? And so then he's going to be like, Mom, this lady has a big, and he went to go ahead and tell me that she had a big stomach. Like, sir, was that necessary? You know what I mean? And yes, this is the time to teach him. Again, you know what I mean? I was like, babe, it's not, that's understandable. That's really rude. That is not okay to say. But again, you can't stop and break it down to them right then and there, because I was just hoping she did not hear. Or like this other time, like, this man was walking, and he came over, he said, Mom, that man is so rude. He is not a gentleman. He just passed gas. We was like in a Hallmark, so it was super quiet. And so then he felt the need to go up to me and said, Sir, it wasn't okay for you to pass gas. You're supposed to say, excuse me. Again, he was younger at this time. He's 7 now, but he was younger. And the man was like, oh, it was my shoes. My shoes was squeaking. He's like, well, your shoes stink too. Like, stop. I cannot. But he was younger. That happened like at least a year ago. Like, he was like probably 5 turning 6. So he was young. Now he's a gentleman. He still told me about that lady, but still, we're working on it. We're progressing. He doesn't say it in a mean way to laugh or to make fun of people. He says it like he observes it. Like, he'll sit here and be like, Mom, I don't like how those people are using curse words. God doesn't like that. Or, Mom, I don't like how that person over there is being a bully. You shouldn't sit here and say stuff to be rude to people. So he's just saying things because he's acknowledging them. Or, you know, maybe if a guy is raising his voice at his wife, Mom, I don't like how that man is talking to his wife. You should respect your wife, and your wife should respect. Like, my son will say stuff like that, and sometimes it's loud, and people will look, and I'll be the one, say something if you want to. Say something if you want to my child. Okay? So, but without cutting this one. And then, yes. But, yeah, so back to the story. This man was real rude, and he said damn real loud. So I'm over here minding my business, whatever the case is. And what ended up happening was he made it apparent that he stopped right behind me looking at the cereal. And I'm just like, let me go ahead and get my box of cereal and continue to walk. And then he looked at me, ma'am, I just have to say, you're just so, and I'm just looking at him like, what do you have to say so you can say it? Get it out. And he's just like speechless. And I'm just like, what do you need to say to me? Like, and then he said, you're just so beautiful. Sir, thank you. Thank you so much. That was so nice of you. Have a good one. And I continue to walk. Then next thing you hear his raggedy basket following me from aisle to aisle to aisle to aisle. And I'm just like, this man is really following me. And so then I turn on the aisle, and he kind of cuts me off. And he says, oh, can I have your phone number? And I was just like, oh, no. Right then and there, he looked good, he smelled good, he looked like he could be something, you never know, I don't know, but it wasn't none of my business. If I would have just gave him my number like that, he didn't earn it, he didn't work for it, he didn't have to sacrifice for it, he didn't have to go out his way for it. He was really rude, he couldn't control, saying damn, like that's not attractive. Like stop, like no. And a lot of you women are like, oh well, Fancy, I gave him my number because he asked for. Why did you give him your number? When you make a man work for something, he treasures it and he values it more. And it's facts. So I was just like, no, 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 sir, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. So I just continue. I'm not going to give you an excuse. I'm going to say, I'm sorry, no, thank you. And I'm going to continue to walk. This man followed me through the entire store, from aisle to aisle to aisle, to the point where I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm like, let me just get out of here. I'm not coming to this Walmart again. And so I check out and I'm going outside the Walmart and he's standing right there. And I'm looking at the police like, I know you lying. So are you waiting for your Uber? Do you not have a car? Like, he literally had a TV dinner in his hand. That's all he had the whole time he was in a grocery store. And I was really, really grocery shopping. And so, he said, oh, wow, it looks like we keep on bumping into each other. I'm like, dude, I'm like, right. I'm like, dude. And he was just like, well, I guess that just means that, I need to take you out or I need your number. And I'm like, again, if you would have, and this is when I told him, if you would have paid for my groceries, then by all means, I like to know that your intentions are real. This is exactly what I said to him. What else can he say? I'm not going to pay for no grocery. No, sir, I'm letting you know how you could have got my number. I'm letting you know how you could have proven yourself to me. I'm letting you know how you could have worked for it. So when you don't tell a man something, regardless if, oh babe, I expected you to take care of me, how was he supposed to know? How was he supposed to sit here and just assume that? Or maybe you're the first woman who's ever had standards that he's ever dealt with. Maybe you're way out of his league and he doesn't know what to do. Unless you tell him, and he's not going to know. So I already have my groceries here and I'm just like, of course, I'm not going to say, I could have said, yeah, you could cash at me, whatever the case is, but I'm just looking at him. I'm waiting for him to respond. I never save a man. I allow him. He's a man. He does not need my help, but you stopped me. You stalked me. You waited for me. You want this number. So I'm just looking at him. I'm just like, yeah, but I'm not used to men being interested in me and they're not trying to be a man and show me that they can provide for me. And, you follow me around the grocery store. I let him know he followed me. Sir, you followed me around the grocery store like you needed something, and now I'm trying to figure out what can I do for you at this point. Oh, let me help you put your groceries in your car. Sir, I don't need help with that. I'll get somebody who works here to help me. I do not need help with you or let me make it up to you by taking you out. A man cannot make up anything to you, ladies, if he benefits from it. You taking me out benefits you. It doesn't benefit me. So no, that's not going to work either. And that's when I sat here and said, you know what, as a matter of fact, you can't fill my gas tank up. And if he would have said no, I would have been like, well, have a good one. Take care. Bye. Like, make a man work for your number. Make a man work for your time. Make a man work for the allocated time that you're going to designate to clear out your schedule. I don't care if you work from home. I don't care if you don't have kids. I don't care if you have nothing to do. I'd rather be at home bored, not doing anything, lonely out of my mind, than to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm available to go out. No, I never go out with a man the same day. You're not going to sit here and not care enough about me to plan a date with me, but you're going to wait to the last minute when all your other plans fall short and you want me to jump up and get dressed? No. You can go ahead and cash at me. You can Venmo me so I can sit here and prepare for the date that you may be able to get from me next week. But we're not going to go out the same day. I will sit here and I will get on YouTube and I will talk to you. I'm not going to go out with y'all. What? No. No. But I'll answer y'all's questions because, y'all, I started talking. Don't. But no, but when I mentioned the gas and stuff, like if I would have mentioned the gas or the grocery up front, he's going to be like, oh, so I asked for a number, she went grocery. No, he wanted that. I ain't never had a man want to fill my gas tank up so bad because I've already rejected him more than once. You have to hit a man where it hurts, in his ego. His ego is connected to his emotions. When you hit, I already turned this man down twice, and I let him know how he fell short, and I let him know why I wasn't attracted to him. Nope, it's not because I'm married. I don't have a ring on my finger, no sir. And if I had a boyfriend, that's neither here nor there. I'm not married, so like, and y'all should still be the same way. A lot of you women take yourselves off the market because you're in a relationship with a dusty, or a man who doesn't want you, or a man who has you as a placeholder, a side chick, or whatever the case is, and you're letting go all these potential. Oh, fancy. I was talking to one of the guys that I used to deal with, and I asked him for help, and he said, "Well, what about your boyfriend? Shouldn't your boyfriend be taking care of you?" Number one, another man shouldn't know your business. You shouldn't be like, "Oh, well, babe, it's okay. I'm going to be going out with somebody else. I have plans." No, you should allow them to think that you're busy. You should allow them to assume or imagine this fairy tale. But you shouldn't try to rub it in the man's face. "Oh, baby, I have another date." Or, "Oh, babe, I'm sorry. I'm in a relationship." Or, "Babe, I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you're married. Listen, we have insurance for a reason, just in case. Doesn't mean we're going to need it. It doesn't mean we're going to use it, but we have it. So why is it that you're turning down men when this man hasn't even chosen you to spend the rest of his life with, or even chosen you to even claim as his girlfriend or as his woman? Because I promise you, if it was one of us with your man in a room, what's that Maury show? And they'll sit here and have a green room and have like one of those undercover ladies trying to seduce your man. You know good and damn well there's cameras in here. You know good and damn well your wife is in there crying and stuff, trying to bring you to see if you have cheated, to see if you're going to pass this lie detector. And you're going to allow this person, master of disguise, to try to seduce you. And they're going to put this all on TV and your wife watching it. Shut up. Stop. Y'all. I can't. I be shook. So, yes, a man will talk to a woman behind your back. That's why I don't care. Like, married, not married, it just does not matter. But, yeah, the decoy. That's it. That's the word, decoy. I haven't watched that since I was in middle school with my grandma. We would watch all kind of stuff. She'd be like, "Don't tell your mama you watching this." I say, "Yes, ma'am. I'm not going to say nothing." My fast self. I wish I lived alone. It was so hard to be sneaky when he pays everything and can track everything if he wanted to. And see, that's the thing. That's what I sit here and I say. You should not be living with a man, especially when you're not married to him. When you hold out on sex, when you hold out on, living in the same household, then that puts, a reward on what he gets when he marries you, or what he gets when he proposes to you, or what he gets when, he's invested into you. When a man has you, he knows where you're at all times. You're under control. I have these girls. They are so sweet. They are so, so sweet. They were like, "Fancy, we want to get this sugar daddy, and he owns some buildings," or whatever the case is, "and we want to figure out how we can get him to put us up in one of his condo apartments." I said, "Why would you want that?" Number one, you can't have men in and out. Not saying that you should, but you can't live your own life. Number two, if you don't do what he wants you to do, he can evict you. Number three, if he gets mad at you, he can lock all your stuff up and he can sell your stuff. Number four, he has total and complete control to be a narcissist, to manipulate you. Like, why would you put yourself in a position where this man can control your life? Why? If he owns all these buildings, that means he can afford to give you cash so you can pay for a condo that he has no say-so over, that he has to ask for permission to come over, that he can't just go to the office and get a key. Like, you women, you ladies are letting these men have so much access to you. And they don't deserve it. They haven't earned it. They haven't worked for it. Why? Why? So when you live with a man, and a lot of women end up living with men because the men are homeless. A lot of women end up living with men because the woman is homeless. That's why I tell you girls, it's so important for you to have your own, be able to take care of yourself. Not, yes, you know what I mean? Even if a man's paying your rent, even if whatever the case is, you should still be able to pay your rent if that man doesn't want to come through, or pay your mortgage, or pay a loan or pay something off or whatever you need to take care of, you should be able to take care of it regardless if that man is helping you or not. And so when you move in with a man, at that point, you give him control to use you, to take advantage of you, to put you in a position where you shouldn't be going out to meet anybody. What are you doing? Shouldn't you be at home with the kids? Or what are you doing? Shouldn't you be studying? Or you've been working all week, so you're not going to stay at home and clean the house up? Or why are you going out? Or why are you getting dressed up? Or why are you wearing makeup? Or why are you getting your nails done? Or we don't have money for this, or we don't have money for what? And then he's the one who's having a whole double life. And he's sleeping with his baby mama. He's sleeping with his ex. He's sleeping with women from his job. He's sleeping with people he go to school with. He's sleeping with people he's in a studio with because he's a wannabe rapper or an artist or whatever. He's doing whatever. And anytime you want to try to step out or enjoy yourself, you can't. So when he leaves you for the next woman, he can get more from, because he's drained you out of everything that you've worked for, and you can't provide anything else. You couldn't even sell a limb because you've given this man your all. And because he can't get anything else from you, he's going to let you go like a leech. Once a leech sucks all the blood out of you, they will let you go and go to the next. So he's going to go to the next one, which is why men get over women so fast, because they have a backup, because they have insurance, because they have a plan B. Like, with that being said, you're with nothing and you're like, well, I just need time to be single and learn to love myself, and I need to build these pieces back together that he broke, and I just need to, and you're wasting more time. And yes, we do need time to heal. I will say this. We do need time to, get therapy. Mental health is everything. But you allowed this man to do this to you. You allowed this man to put you in this situation. And you did this to yourself. Men have backup. Oh yeah, men have backup. And that's what I was trying to tell y'all within the thing with Zoe. Oh my gosh, I love Messy Monday, y'all. And the thing is, when I first started watching it, I was like, I don't know about celebrities or nothing like that. And I really don't, because I don't care about people's lives. Like, well, I care about people's lives, but I'm not into people's drama. I'm not, like, I really don't care about what she's wearing or what she's doing or who she's sleeping with or who he's sleeping with. Like, I don't care about stuff like that. I just don't care. There's more important things, as far as what's going on within politics and, in our communities and, our households and our cultures. And there's so many other things. But I started watching him because his personality is just so uplifting, and he's so funny. He's so crazy. So even if I don't know who he's talking about, the way he puts it, it's just so hilarious. And so when I was watching it, I was just like, no, this girl is not at the beach with her whole man who's on FaceTime in prison. And the crazy thing is, a girl also asked, because I was stating, men don't like to be alone. She said, well, Fancy, this is a different girl that commented, Fancy, I have a different case. My man's a hard butt. And he tells me all the time,